vinyl community and VC members and YouTubers. This is Chris. I'm here to do a video. This is pretty much a vinyl finds type video. So if that offends people, sorry. But a few weeks ago I went to an estate sale that was nearby, and they had mentioned that they had records, so I went over there and, you know, for a change, had pretty good luck. The estate sale didn't really explain itself too well, so I went over. It was one of the type where you take a number, you stand in line, they call you in small batches. So went over there, stood in line out in the sun, went through the house, didn't find the music, so I figured, oh, somebody came in, cleaned them out. And then as I was leaving, I noticed around on the side of the house where the garage entrance was, they were having a garage sale component to this estate sale. So I went in there. Sure enough, that's where the records were. So who knows what records I missed in the hour or so that I took to go through the estate sale. In the background is an Asmus Tietjens album. And some German type name. He's joined with the Arcane Device on this album. So the estate sale was pretty interesting. That didn't know what I was going to find there, and I was really surprised at what I did find. Didn't recognize much of it, but the big find was this album here. The group, as they called themselves, was Transcend Improvisation. So the album is Trans. It's on the Trans Music label, Trans Music #1. So let me switch over to that. So this is 1977. LaDonna Smith on viola and piano and synthesizer and drums on one track. One track. Voice and organ. Davy Williams on guitars and saxophone. Theodore Bowen on bass, sax, oboe, percussion. So this is just one other guy. A couple other people help him out. But this was out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama, so University of Alabama area. Sort of avant-garde, modern classical type stuff. The pieces on this album are unaltered live improvisations, no overdubbing, tape manipulation, or related compositions recorded in summer and fall of '76. So I got this, didn't know anything about it. I later found out that LaDonna Smith and some of these other people have other combinations that they put out, but none under this Transcend Improvisation label or moniker. So they had that, an open copy. They also had this sealed copy. So I got this one and checked it out. Then I went back the next day, no, that afternoon I think, and I got this one. The prices were real reasonable. They were, I think that everything I bought there was between $1.10 and $2. Just based on, you know, I grabbed a bunch of them and gave them a flat fee of $10 or $20. So I had those two. I had this Mauricio Kegel album, Ludwig van. So this is another ensemble, including Frederick Chesky. I think I got that closer to correct, on piano, and some other people. Bass, baritone, violin, cello. I think most everything I got was in the late 70s. So I don't know. I guess that's when whoever this person was active. So on the Deutsche Grammophon label. I had some other stuff, non-classical. So I picked up this Sparks album. It was a white label promo. Introducing Sparks. This one, country album. I didn't know who this guy was. Daryl McCall, but I noticed he had Willie Nelson helping him out on vocals. Again, it was another white label promo on Columbia. I think this is the only album that was, this was an eBay, no, this was a Discogs purchase. The later Fugs album, The Belle of Avenue A. And to keep up with the theme, that's also a white label promo. So some folky type stuff. A Jimmy Cliff album. I think it's in concert. On Reprise. Jimmy Cliff. Byron Lee and the Dragonaires. Reggae. Reggae International. This is on the Dynamic label. Wasn't familiar with this, but thought I would give it a try. Had one jazz title. Sonny Rollins, I think this is 1962. What's New? So jazz with some South American rhythms mixed in on RCA. All right, let me flip this record. This side starts a little noisy. But then they had some classical stuff there. So this box set, Budapest Quartet, early EMI recordings, 1932 to 36. So they're doing Brahms, Mozart, Bartok, Mendelssohn, variety of people. And these things were white label promos. 4 LP set. And then they had another one. The historic 1952 recordings of late Beethoven quartets. Again, white label promo on the Odyssey label. So that was the pretty much that estate sale. You know, as some people have their stories that they actually found something. This was one of those rare cases. More of the Transcendimprovisation album. So some other things, just while I'm killing time listening to this. I got this John Coltrane First Meditations for Quartet. Forget, this might be 66, but I will try to leave some details. I picked up this one just because, you know, to round out the batch, so I had enough to make it worthwhile. The Masked Marauders. On the Deity label. It's a white label, but not a white label promo. Just that's how they came up with this special label. An offshoot of Columbia, I think. I mean, yeah, Reprise. That's what it looks like. So Deity, the Masked Marauders. So I think these were session musicians. All right. Switching back to Mr. Teachins. The other thing, I've been trying to gather up a pile of records to respond to Alan Static Traveler for his charmingly whimsical thread. So just to, this was one of the ones that I had pulled out for this, one of the later questions. The Dangerous Christmas of Red Riding Hood. So this is something that I remember seeing a few years ago. It has the Liza Minnelli, Vic Damone, the Animals make an appearance on a couple of songs, which was the reason I picked this up. But this seemed to address one of Alan's questions. So I think I will leave it at that. So an estate sale gone right. And thanks everybody for watching.